and a sort of obtuse teaser for suspense, then move in to the main PR of the event, and then have a reminder post on the day of the event. The next point is the U, which stands for the unique selling point, the why people should come to your event. If you can figure out this USP, your event is sure to be a success. In this COVID scenario, we have so many online sessions with prolific speakers across the globe coming and attending so many different meetings. In such a scenario, capitalizing on your event's USP is what will make it stand out and draw in the crowd. And now the T, the target audience. Identifying your target audience is one of the most important aspects of formulating your PR strategy because this drives your decision as to who and what you want to showcase. Now, with this simple formula of RUT, I'll show you how to drive different strategies by comparing two different events that we had using this particular strategy. The first, as you can see, this is a screenshot from a video that we created for the Toastmasters Leadership Institute or the TLI1 that took place in July this year. Now, this teaser shows a crossword of all the different roles of the executive committee. What we then did was highlight the T, L, and I from these different roles to show that this was TLI was concentrated and was trying to train the different club officers over here. So how did we implement the strategy over here? The first is for the roadmap. Since this was a mega event, we had 10 days of concentrated PR. In the morning, every day in the morning, we released one video, which was the video of the particular trainer. And in the evening, we introduced a trainer trivia. Now, when it comes to the template that we used, as you can see, all the videos have the same template across them. Now, the reason for doing this was twofold. The first is makes our lives much easier when we have to create a large number of videos, but we want to portray a similar kind of theme. And the second thing was this template helps act as an ambassador for the event. At just one glance, people can understand by looking at this that these videos were for the Division Q's Toastmaster Leadership Institute. Now, the reason why we wanted to do a video and not just a flyer was that this was the first time that we were having a virtual TLI, but we still wanted that bond or the connection between the trainer as well as the member to be there. And using a video made them seem more approachable and more connected. For additional engagement, every day we posted some non Toastmaster related trivia for each of our trainers. This helped garner a lot of interest and excitement because these were people who we may or may not have known, but we were definitely finding out something unique about each of our trainers. Now, coming to the USP for this event. The USP for this event showed that this was going to be a virtual event for the first time. Attendance would guarantee a DCP goal. The trainers were coming from both inside and outside the division, and members could attend from the comfort of their home. Now, to drive home this point, we used a dedicated hashtag to capitalize on this online experience. We wanted to show that we form real connections with our trainers. So each of our posts was added with the hashtag of break the barrier. Demographic was crucial to this because this training was for the club officers of our Division Q. So if you can see in the poster, we have this image of doors opening to convey the idea that registrations are now open. But we wanted to make sure that the right demographic knew who they were. So you can see the letter Q, which symbolizes that this was for the members of Division Q. Now I'll show you how we can use this same strategy for a different kind of event and just tweak it a little bit. The second event was an event called Lado Magar Pyar Se, which translates to fight but with love. So this was a small debate which took place between the members of Division K and Q. Now, to give you a little background,
Ruchira, we can't hear you. Your voice is breaking.
I think Ruchira got dropped out. She's joining within a minute. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, sorry for that. Can you please let me know up till what part was audible? I'll pick up from there.
You're sharing a backstory?
All right, so I'll start
You
off
were
with
sharing
the
that.
second event backstory. Okay, thank you. Can you please confirm that the screen is now visible?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, sorry for that interruption. So let me just start by saying that Lado Magar Pyar Se was a different kind of event which translates to fight but with love. Now, this was a smaller scale debate between two divisions. So, giving you a little backstory about this event was that just last year, our Division K split into two divisions, Division K and Division Q, which we like to call casually as the king and the queen. So, what we wanted to do was capitalize on this card based theme idea for our PR strategy for this event. Because it was a smaller event, we posted one post per day for 7 days. Now, coming to the USP of this event, as I mentioned that our division had split into two, so there was already a bit of friendly competition between the two divisions, and all the members knew everyone from the other division. So we decided to capitalize on this aspect and we extended our card based theme. But as you can see that we had members from the team K and Q go head to head. And in that we asked the team member to post a slightly savage remark about the other team member to promote a little bit more of this banter, friendly banter before each event. And this was able to garner a lot of audience interaction throughout the session as well. Now, coming to the target audience, this is a screenshot from our intro video. This was done so that the audience knew right from the first PR event that was given out who they were. They were the members of Division K and Division Q. Now, in a purely virtual world, selling your idea is almost as important as the idea itself. And PR strategy does just that. It helps capture your audience's attention, keeps them engaged, and helps you sell your event. As Ron Trosson said, PR is a mix of journalism, psychology, and lawyering. It's an ever changing and always interesting landscape. And to help you navigate this ever changing and interesting landscape, we brought to you this foolproof formula of RUT, that is roadmap, unique selling point, and a target audience. With this formula of RUT, you can be sure never to fail to get yourself out of the rut of everyday PR. Thank you. And we will now be moving on to our first hands on workshop part. So, this will be a hands on workshop where we will be showing you how to create flyers in Canva. For this, I'd like to invite our next member, Toastmaster Harshit, to please take over.
So good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests, to all who are present here. So let me share my screen and tell me visible or not. So it is visible.
It's coming. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Okay. So I will show about this poster, how basically the basic structure of making a Canva poster in Canva. So let me start up with it without wasting any time. So after making account, you will come to the screen after logging in, and you can press on the presentation, and after that this will open. So first of all, wait a minute. So basically we will make this one, and what is the basic concept of doing it and making it. So I will tell you all about this. So first of all, I will tell you about this one. Wait a minute. So how the background image came from. So I will start up with that. I will type here Toastmaster stock photos. Wait a minute. So then we will click on to the professional images. After clicking it, we will go to the Toastmaster. After clicking it, this will appear in the screen, and we'll click here for access. We'll tap here, and then this will come to the screen. After that, we'll click on this, and there are many posters there. Like you can select any brand, photos, club, district, content, any you can select, and here in the right corner you can tap here and download it, the photo whichever you want for your background images. So let me come back again to the Canva, and you can, after downloading it, you can upload here, upload the images here to use it in the Canva background. So like I have taken this photo as the, after downloading it, so I will adjust here. On the screen by doing this, and here the options comes. See, I have fit the image, and here in the right upper corner, transparency. After clicking it, I can adjust it, the image whichever you want white or something like that. So making it a better one, I will turn it to 77, and after turning it, I will go to the element and type rectangle. After typing the rectangle, the box will appear here. And this is the box. So I will adjust in the image. I will not make it to the full. to make it a better one. So I've taken here and then click on this and go to the transparency again and make it to the better one. So I make it to 40. So it looks better. So after going further, I will type here in the element, I will type laptop and search. And this is appears laptop, and I will do a slight change in it. So this is the image where scenario are coming. So we'll click on this and we'll change it. We'll change the color to white and we will adjust it a bit smaller to make the poster a better one, so we can adjust each and everything. So we can change that. We have changed this color and we can change the grayish portion also. So to change it, we'll click on again to the laptop portion and we can change the color, like we can move it to red, sky blue or something, whatever we want the color to be. So we can change it to that color. So let me take the grayish one so it look better. So after moving further, we have to put the Toastmaster logo to a brand, taking it a brand guideline. So I've uploaded the Toastmaster International, this one. So let me so we have adjusted it. So let me tell you more about the text. So like we have to do division Q, PR. So you can search here the text or you can select it from the here front combination and many others in the down portions. From here you can select any of the text whichever you want it, and you can select from here, add a heading. It is almost size wise, you can see it here, or you can type here like one text. You can search for Srikhand. This is also a text, so you can search for it, but why it is not coming? Okay, so let me take up this only, and after doing this I will show you how you can select from here. Like we are writing here Q, then space, and then we can adjust it the way we want. But this color is not going in this, so we can change it to the better one. We have to make it so see, here are the options, many options. From here you can make it like this is the text option. So see, if here but we can't make it. Okay, fine. So like we can select it from here, whichever we font we want. So I'm taking it graduate, or we can take it Poppins medium. So let me adjust up with it. So we want extra bold, and we can choose any size whichever we want, or we can simply write here like we want 50, so we can enter it and we can do it. And after clicking here to the division Q, we can go here, simply do a text color, and we can change it whichever color we want. Like I am doing it to the white. But it's not going, so let me go up with no. Okay, so I will show you in the, so let me do it a bit. So if we have to write anything in the laptop also, we can do it, like writing something division Q PR. So we can here adjust it, like we can do it in the bold portion, like we have select this part, like we have selected, and we can make it a bold one, and we can make it a bit. And we can use the arrow sign as well in the laptop, or we are doing in the computer, anywhere we can do it. And like it is a white background, so we can make it to the black color or whichever color we want, like we can make it blue or something. You can add the text here. After whenever you add the laptop, the background comes to scenery, we can change the color to white. After doing that, we can add the text to division QPR, or anything apart you can add into it, and you can change the color itself. So moving forward, again we will go to the elements, and then we will type rectangle again, and after doing it, like which I have shown you in starting of this, so we can make it, if you have to make a schedule, we can make it like this, or agenda for something, when is the meeting or something, a basic structure. So we can change, like it is, the color is gray, so we can click on this and we can change the color to blue, or almost to the brand guidelines, we can make it to yellow to look better one, like we are adjusting here. And we can again go to the text. First, let me take a bit. So I'm rectangle, what I have typed, we can take this one, and we can something what I really like to show, like we can adjust it here to make it like we can change the color because it is yellow, so we can change it to like, you can do it like this to make it a bit unique. So we can type here the text also. So after selecting it, we will choose this one. and we can write like we are making the agenda or schedules. So we will like Monday and we'll make it bold. And we will squeeze down to smaller and we will adjust here so it look good. And we can add in the text box also, like whenever we have meeting or no meetings, so no meetings or something other to the part of it. We can change the color itself. Hello. Okay, fine. Sorry for the interruption. So we can do here itself. After doing it, so let me come up with a purpose. Like we have, let me show you the other part of it. Like we have make it a box, and what we can make it a bit like, again we are selecting this one. So if we want to delete a box, we can delete it itself, and we can make it, we can change the color itself to blue, and then again we'll go to the element portion. And after doing it, we will again select the box and we'll make it smaller one, and we will adjust here only, like we will do, and we can make it smaller one, and we can change the color itself. Like we'll click on the box and we can change the color to any of the one, whichever you want, and we can write anything whichever we want by text box. And then if you want a box again in this portion, like we write something or the other, and we can again put a smaller box in it, and we can make use of it, so we don't create other box or something like that. Like we have write a heading or contactor or something, and we can write here itself, and we can, if we have a special announcement or a special something to catch up the eye, so we can put a box here to make the color, we can change it to yellow to spot it, and we can write here itself. And every part I think I have clear. Oh, okay, I'm telling this
Could
one more
yeah,
thing, and then
we're in the interest of time. Can you please? Yeah, thank you.
yeah. Like we have written here division Q. After doing that, we'll make the color to black, and then using again the heading, we can make it something to the days or something or the other, and we can adjust here, and then we can choose it to 50, and then we can change the color in the one box only so that it look different or something. We can make it to the red or something like the other. So I think I have done almost all the parts. So anything, any further doubts or something, I'm always free to answer. So over to you, Toastmaster Ruchira.
Thank you, Toastmaster Harshit. We'll quickly move on to Toastmaster Rohit, who will be showing us how to create animated videos. Over to you, Rohit.
Just to confirm once, is my screen visible?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so thank you, Toastmaster Ruchira. So after that wonderful and detailed session by Toastmaster Harshit, I'm sure that most of you by now can create basic flyers and stills in Canva. So, but what I'm going to show is a video, like how to create a simple video in Canva. So I just created a normal background with the TI colors here. In case you're wondering how does the TI colors come. So to choose color, we can choose from photo. Since the logo has most of all the colors, we can choose our background according to the TI colors. So color code has not been a problem. So now let's like quickly create a simple video for this event. So I would just write anything like let's just create a video for this event. So division Q District 41 presents. Now, this will be the first slide. So how to animate it. So if you guys have doubts on animate, this is just a simple option here. There are different kinds of animations visible. Like you can use a block. I am going to go for a block. And there's one more thing if you want to use animated elements. So animated elements add a bit of value. So let's add some animated elements in the slide. So if you want to, this is the search for elements. So you can apply filters. We can go for animated and then we'll go for, of course, the Canva free version. So apply filters. We can see here there are a lot of lines. So adding lines somewhat helps or brings out the design. So we can just add this one. We can just minimize the size a bit. So here we added an animated element. So now let's just go down. So number one, if we create an introductory thing, anything, so we need to have some intro text. So like, since this is a workshop, like I told you I'm be creating one for this workshop. So let me have one like brings to you. And these elements, as you can see, are there in the Canva elements list. I'm sure you know how to add these. So let's just have another animated element here, like the concentric circle. And if you want to have a duplicate of it, you can just click here. This appears another one, just to add a bit of design. And now we'll move on to the next slide, event description. So when we are telling, so we need to tell what are we doing. So brings to you. Sorry, like I just added a present. So we can add here an opportunity. Now event description. So we can add here an opportunity to learn and implement. Now the text size is important. As you can see, it's here a bit. I'll make it a bit small. To learn and implement, the and is not. PR strategies and designing techniques. So this is the basic, like this is the main part where you're telling about the event. So, and since there are already two static elements here, I'm sure we don't need an animated element. So we'll just move on to the next slide. Now, you can just write the name of the event, hands on PR workshop. So here we are, and if you're and just to make sure that all these are TI approved fonts like Monster Art or Source Sans Pro, that you can get it on the brand guidelines. And the animations I have already done here, you can, while you create, you can apply for each slide. Like I have applied a pan animation here. It's just easy, like every slide you click and you can apply the animation here. So I'll just quickly go there. And the most important one when you're notifying them about an event is the date and time. I've already added an animated element here. So today is 29/11/2020. And here you make join us on. So this is a basic video which I made. So now we can see the preview here. The first slide I'll just correct. The time you can adjust as per your convenience here. I'll just show you the time you can per slide, the time you can adjust here. You can increase or decrease it. I'll just quickly correct the first slide and make a duplicate of it. I think that's done. So let's quickly download it. So now I'll be also showing you how to add a sound or some music to it. Let me quickly download it. Yeah, so while downloading it, file type suggested MP4 video, and you download all the pages. It will take a while. Meanwhile, I'll just show you how to add music. So normally what happens is you can just search YouTube or anywhere for no copyright music just to avoid any copyright issues. So I just searched this one, like background music for videos. Like if you can just, this is somewhat an energetic introduction for the event. So let's choose this. Now I'll just show you how to add. I guess this would take a while. So number one, let's show how. So you copy the link here. Here it's there. And then there's this website called Capwing. I'll just show you. So if you search here, Capwing is a website where you add audio to video. I'll just take you to Capwing. So this is the website I use to add audio to video. Now you just upload the video you downloaded from Canva. It's uploaded. And now to add audio, you just copy paste the URL that you got it from there. So I'll just copy paste it. If you see, it's done. You can just adjust the volume or trim the audio, but I guess this is fine. is the video we made. And we can download here by clicking create. So that's all from me. If you have any doubts, I'll be happy to answer. I think I'll just show you guys the full video once. So this is the, I think I'll just show it from the beginning. And you click create after this. And it will get processed and downloaded. It will take 2 seconds, not more than that. Yes, so here we are with the final thing. You can download it. So here we are. Done. Thank you. And now I'll hand over it to Toastmaster Ayush for the content creation part.
Thank you, Rohit. I hope everybody has had a great session with Rohit's session. Let's appreciate Rohit for that. Moving on to the next one. Before I share my presentation, let me ask Toastmaster Rohit to please share the screen.
Yeah, 1 second, I'll be sharing. You can start with your introduction.
You can start. You can share the screen, please.
Yeah, 1 minute.
So good evening, fellow Toastmasters, and I hope everyone is doing absolutely fine. I want the session to be interactive, so please unmute and answer the question I question. What is content writing? If you want to answer, do raise the hand. I will ask the host to unmute. Can anyone answer what is content writing?
The cream of any content.
I didn't get you. Come up again with your name. Plus, please tell me your name first.
Hey Ayush, hi, this is Toastmaster Seshdev. Well, it's the cream of any endorsement you want to do. That's what content writing can be crisply said out. So it's basically the soul of anything you want to endorse or advertise or want that to reach to the audience. So that's from my side.
Okay, good answer. Well said. Anyone else would like to answer what is content creation or what is content writing? You can unmute and speak. Come on, there are 38 people in the room. You all guys don't know what is content writing. We are Toastmasters. We can answer any question. Okay, I tell you what is content writing. So it's in simple words, I would like to say content writing is just drafting content to communicate a message to the target audience. Now, the big question is how to make effective content writing. Can we move to the next slide, please? So how to make effective content writing is the biggest question. Trust me, this is not rocket science. It's lucid to understand and a few tips, and then you will be on the tip of the mountain. So point number 1 is alluring headline. If you grab the surveillance of the audience from the genesis of the content, congratulations, you have won the battle. The headline plays an imperative part to tempt the audience to read the rest of your craft. Let's take an example. During September period, our division had done a campaign in renewal for the next term. And the headline for our campaign was, "Did you reach this far to only reach this far?" This actually captivated everyone's attention to read further. During August, my club did all district champions meeting. So the headline of the event was the Camp of Champs. Just give it a little time and think deeply. You will come up with great thoughts for headlines. Moving on to the second point is hit the cardinal point. Strike the cardinal point directly because you have few seconds to hold the audience after the headline. Always stick to the main point and don't deviate from the topic. Otherwise, it will break the flow of reading and you may lose the audience attention. For instance, if you want audience for evaluation workshop, talk directly about evaluation. Like, do you know the secret on how to become district champion in evaluation? Or what are the 30 unique points on which you can evaluate the speaker? Something which talks about evaluation. Coming to my point number 3 is lucid and don't exaggerate. This is very important to understand. The mission of content writing is to make sure that the audience gets your message. When you write the content, keep the audience in mind, make it simple in terms of words and sentences. Complex structure and vocabulary would deter the audience to read further, and never exaggerate the truth. Don't stretch the truth and give it a new definition. Like, for example, I tell you, changing and exaggerating the truth can make you seem unreliable or masquerade. For example, if it's an evaluation workshop and if we write, if you attend this workshop, then in your first attempt, you would be champion in your district. It's like saying, take a pill and chill. In just 1 week, you will lose 10 kilos. Is it really possible? No. Similarly, never exaggerate. Coming to my point number 4 is short yet substantial. Lengthy content is not healthy and it won't be wealthy for your growth. Keep it short and crisp. Your content is not the first and the last to be read by the audience. Each day, the audience reads numerous contents. Make sure it's short and has substantial information like the date, the time, the link, the meeting ID, the RSVP with minimum 2 names and 2 active numbers, club names, etc. Moving on to the 5th point is the unique style. The content has to be unique in such a way that people would relish reading it. Catchy content will engage them to read the whole part. Rhyming can be an unique style. For instance, there was a carnival event in our division, and we had used this phrase. It's time to have boom in your Zoom. It's time to have boom in your room with the Zoom. It's looked really attractive while reading it. One more, for instance, when we were promoting COPT, that is Club Officer Training Program, we use this catchy lines for different community posts like how to win battleship to add on membership, or what are the steps needed in the arms to serve as the best sergeant at arms, how to enrich your PR skill for maximum reach. This is the way rhyming works, and rhyming really goes well. Even I try to rhyme numerous times, even this in workshop, like lengthy, healthy, wealthy, chill, pill, etc. Coming to my second point of unique style is comparison. Suppose if someone is conducting a workshop on table topics, you can describe that person in this way. This gentleman is as quick as Dhoni behind the stumps, or something like this. In the last moment of your life, what would you like to see? Mr. Gavaskar said Dhoni's six in World Cup 2011. And Toastmasters would say an impromptu speech of DTM Ian Pal. This highlights the speaker to the brim and makes the audience think, not to miss the opportunity to listen to such a great speaker. There can be numerous ways, but these two ways always work. Coming to the last point, that is conclusion. To remember, the climax should linger in the minds of the reader. Before coming to the climax, make sure to edit the first draft to make the finest craft by polishing the rough edges of the content. Conclusion is simply make them remember what the content is all about. Like as I said, we had done a district champion meeting. So our last line was simply all champions meeting. That's it. That's the conclusion. It made the readers reminisce again that the meeting is all about champions. Now, let me show the real examples. Can you stop sharing the screen, Rohit? I will share from my end now. Can you guys see my screen? Can anyone answer that?
Yep,
Yes,
can.
yes.
Okay, so,
Yep.
so see, this is the example I want to show you. We were promoting the Camp of Champ, and here is the write-up we have done. So the Camp of Champ was a headline. Okay, so we directly went about this person he want to describe. So this is the person Iron, DTM Iron Par, and we want to describe him. So we directly hit the cardinal point that this gentleman is glamorous and all that. And see, we compared in a unique style of Mr. SRK in the group, that this person is as eminent as SRK in the group. And he's a showstopper always. And again, the unique style that in the last moment of his life, what would you like to see? Mr. Gavaskar said Dhoni 6, and we says his impromptu speech. And see the all champions meeting at the conclusion. And we have the registration link, we have the date, time, everything mentioned on this. Let me show you one more example. So this is the first poster that we released about the Master of Ceremonies. So this is how we did. Again, the Camp of Champ as the headline, the Master of Ceremonies. This gentleman, again, we compared him with Dhoni as I gave the example about Virat and Dhoni. And then he's a bomb of exuberance and elegance. And see, there's a trick. Even we played with the name. If you see this, he is always a winner. Even the word win resides in the pronunciation of his name. So his name is Nervin. So when comes, so this is a unique way you can always describe the person. This tempts the audience to come and listen to this person. So these are the two examples that I wanted to show. And here I bring an end to my session. If there's any question, you can ask me, or we can take it later down. You can post that in the
We'll take all
chat
the
box.
questions at the end.
Yes, we'll do that in the end. So let me call upon the next speaker or the next presenter, Toastmaster Shruti Srivastava. Over to you.
Thank you so much. Can I have the co-host rights, please?
Yes, just give me a moment.
And am I perfectly audible?
You are audible as well as a co-host.
Awesome. So good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for being a part of this evening. And we are certainly delighted to have you all. First of all, I want to thank to set the pace. I want to thank the entire PR team to set the pace. And in today's world, I do not need to tell you what my workshop is about. It's about social media. So social media in today's world is important as well as mandatory for all of us to stay in the know and to stay connected given the situation of COVID during these times. But for Toastmasters communities, it is all the more important because right now social media or any online form of presence is the only way where we can communicate our ideas, where we can disseminate information, and where we can convey our message. So it becomes all the more important to strategize your social media strategy when you are the VPPR or when you are working it out for yourself as a Toastmaster or when you are in any position given the point of social media. Social media forms a very important part of the entire PR strategy because WhatsApp groups, our emails are all flooded with an overwhelm of information. The only place we seem to have some solace is social media. How many of you agree with this? A clap of hands or a thumbs up will give me more, encouragement to go ahead. Yes, I know. Everyone agrees that social media is the only place where we want to slack a bit and spend some time for ourselves. No complaints, nothing to worry about. I'm going to tell you five, just 5 things to get your social media strategy for your club in time and in just on the spot. So I'll be sharing screen now. Let me know when you can see it. Can you see it?
Yes.
Yeah, it's visible.
Awesome. How can I hide this? Okay. So by social media, I mean primarily four social media channels: YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. Some clubs are on Twitter also, but Twitter is more on the real time update than just disseminating the information and engaging with the audience. So first of all, it's important to have a strategy in place when you are in a position where you are responsible for communicating on behalf of your club. So first thing is that you have to be very specific. By specific, I mean when you are designing any poster, when you're writing any content, do not try to make it like a pudding of everything. You cannot post, you cannot make it a multi-purpose content. If you're writing a flyer for an event that you're going to have in a week, do not try to cross promote the another event or your other meeting or your other workshop that you're going to have 15 days later. So it confuses the audience. And also, given the point that you all must be aware that we have an attention span of just 6 seconds. When you're scrolling this mobile phone, when you're scrolling any Instagram profile, or when you're scrolling a LinkedIn, you are just going to stay there for 6 seconds, and that has become an involuntary response of our body given the overwhelm of information that we receive every day. So first and foremost important thing is that you have to be specific whatever you're trying to write, as stated by my fellow PR members also from the division, while they were trying to design flyers and create videos, that you need to highlight the important information so that as soon as you see any flyer, you know what is there to be noticed. Second thing is that you have to create a certain amount of measure. So you need to know, this is a very a step ahead of your PR strategy. But I know people who are into real PR or who are into real social media strategies, they know the importance of measuring. Imagine if you're earning a substantial amount of money in a month, but you do not know where your money goes. Would you be happy with that? Or would you be really honest with yourself when you do not know where your money is or where your money is going? So you need to know how effective is your social media strategy. You need to know when you are conducting a workshop, you have to understand how many people are attending it. For example, when we brainstormed this idea for this workshop, we were trying to have at least 100 to 200 people. Some 100 people almost registered, and now right now the number is in front of yourself, how many are there. So it has to be a measurable effort. We do not want to just keep hard working, keep working hard and not able to measure it. So the measurable effort is very important. Third important part here in your social media strategy is that it has to be attainable. By attainable, I mean whenever you are trying to for example, you're trying to conduct a special meeting, or you're trying to conduct a special contest or a special event during your tenure or in your club. You have to understand what is something that is unique and attainable from others. There are several workshops going on. There are several clubs organizing similar kind of meetings. There are several events going on. But what is the different thing? And what is the different thing that you can achieve? As stated by my fellow Toastmaster Ayush, when he said that he conducted a camp of champs and champions, a meeting where he could get in 400 people. That was an attainable goal that he worked towards, and that was the different part of it. The way he, disseminated information via social media channels, via WhatsApp, via emails, or via talking to people. That's important. So that your goal should be different and attainable. The fourth important thing is realistic. So who wants to dwell in the dreams? At least we do not. We as Toastmasters, we never want to dwell in dreams, because we also want to stay real and keep it closest to the real world. Right now, if you try to just plop information in front of people, they are not going to listen. They are here to understand your stories. Like you must have heard in the speeches, when you receive a feedback, they want to hear your personal feedback. They want to hear your personal stories. Likewise, if you are into social media, people do not want to engage with Toastmasters per se as a community, but they want to engage with you. By you, I mean you as a person, you as a real human who would share what he or she is feeling is lacking in the club, or what he or she is feeling is lacking in certain part of communication. So people want to engage with real humans, and which is where I'm saying that you have to be honest. You have to create, whenever you're writing anything, whenever you're creating any flyer, poster, video, it has to be more on the human part. For example, we created a video for one of the COTP workshops that happened in the month of August, I think. And there we try to have videos of the people who are going to conduct those workshops, so that they know, first of all, they have a face behind that workshop. Second thing is that they know they are talking to a human and not to just a flyer or just a symbol or a logo. So we want to be realistic, we want to be true. And the fifth and foremost important is that it has to be time bound. If you are trying to promote a workshop, or if you're trying to promote a flyer right 24 hours or 48 hours before your event, you are not going to be successful. On social media, everything that you promote or everything that you publish stays, and there is a certain score that all the social media channels give to your post or to your writing, and that stays for 24 hours to 48 hours. And after that, your social media or your post starts to get in that pool of various posts that are there, and as the more number of likes that you get, the more engagement that you get, decides the success of your social media post or the engagement with your audience. So therefore, you need to have ample amount of time between your event and your promotion on social media, or be it any channel. So these were the 5 strategies which I would like to help you with, and that I have successfully used during my tenure as a VP PR and as a part of the Division Q PR team. Is SMART. You have to be specific when you're trying to create anything, any campaign on social media. You have to be measurable. You have to understand how many people are viewing it, how many people are liking it, how many people are commenting on it. Engagement is the most important part of social media in 2020. Third thing is that you have to work towards a goal, or work towards a challenge, or work towards a different thing or a unique thing of your social media strategy or campaign, which should be attainable. Fourth thing is that you have to be realistic. We do not want to talk to machines. We have enough machines in our lives. We want to talk to humans. And the fifth most important thing is that you have to give yourself, your promotion, and your event enough time. Is there anyone who wants to add anything to the SMART strategy here? Would anyone answer that? Hello, am I audible?
You're audible.
Yes, you're audible, Shruti.
Awesome, awesome. So how many of you use social media on a day-to-day basis? Hello. No, I want answers.
I think you're
now.
getting thumbs up.
I
You're
want
getting
answers
thumbs up
now.
as your answers.
How many of we use, and how much time do we spend on social media?
All day.
All day. Okay, great. That's the most honest answer, I think. Anyone else? Okay, no one. Probably they are scrolling through their Instagram feeds. So, anyways, this was my social media strategy that I successfully use. The last but not the least important thing here is that you have to aim for engagement on your social media posts. By engagements, I mean you have to try to build an audience which engages with your social media post. And by audience, I'm not talking about hello, friendship, please, I want to go on a date kind of an audience, but the audience which wants to have a meaningful conversation with your posts. So you might get people who want to attend a club's meeting or who want to be a part of Toastmasters community. Or if you're sharing any Toastmaster thing on your personal feed on behalf of the club, people who are really interested, how have you gained those qualities that you are trying to promote here. So try to have an engagement in your social media posts. Try to end your social media posts or campaigns with a question mark. Try to have a clear call to action button like we have in our speeches, which is, have you registered, do it now, or start smarter, or let's go, and things like that. So it gives a verb, actionable verb, to the person who is reading that. That's it for the evening. You have been a quiet and a wonderful audience. Thank you so much. Over to the next presenter and a workshop Toastmaster here.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shruti, for your very comprehensive presentation. That was something that I'm sure was really helpful to everyone. As our Q&A moderator has posted, please feel free to post any of your questions in the chat box and we'll take them up at the end of our session. So moving on to the next session, I will be taking you through video creation and editing using Filmora Editor. So for that, I'll be sharing my screen again. Can someone please confirm that my screen is visible?
Yes, it's
Yes.
visible.
Okay, thank you so much. So this is what the exact layout of a Filmora editor looks like. So in the top right-hand corner, we have a preview of the video that we're creating. So I'd like to quickly show you what the video is so that you have an idea of what we're trying to build towards. Before I continue, is the music audible of the video? Is the background music audible?
No. No.
Okay, I'll just share again, just a minute. All right, so this is the target video that we are planning to create right now. So for that, I'll start from scratch. So what the first thing to do is to import the media. So as you can see that in each video, we used a particular image, as you can see here. So for that, what we do is import the image directly. If you can see the button over here, import media files. You then get into your own desktop machine and you can select whatever images that you need, whether they be images or audio texts. Anything can be inputted into the media section over here. Now, at the bottom, if you can see that we have multiple tracks, and these tracks have numbers 1, 2, etc. Now, what these signify is that each track you can consider is like a layer, and you build on top of that layer. So the topmost track is what goes on the topmost layer is what you see. So what we did is first we used a white background for the entire video. So we have this white rectangle which stretches across the entire duration of the video, and this is put into the base track, that is track 1. On top of that, in track 2, we inputted our images that we wanted for our different parts to convey the different meanings. Now, the next step that we did was after including the image which was specific for each kind of club officer role that we were trying to portray, or the information that we're trying to portray here, is adding the correct text. So to add the text, at your on your top row, if you can see, the third button says titles. Over here, you can go and select openers, titles, lower third, subtitles, and credits. So over here we used a title, and if you double click on any of the titles, you'll be able to see a quick demo of what that title looks like. For example, this title has a box which goes around it. This has a line to its left. So if you want to include this particular title, the first thing you need to do is move your seeker to the correct position where you want to showcase, where you want to put in the title. For example, I want to put in the title at this particular point. I've moved my orange seeker to the point, and over here I click the plus button on my title. If you can see that we've got now a title track 4 where this has been added. If I double click on that title track, it allows me to add in the text, and I can type in here demo text. But you can see that the color of the text is something that is not something that we can see very well. So I would like to change the color of the text by putting it. If you scroll down here, you can see text color, and you can change the color to black. If you can you see that the demo text has now come to the screen over here, demo text, which is now in black. So let me, now that we've inputted this, let me remove it. The simple functions of delete and escape also work over here. So you can just click and hit the delete button. Now, if you see that at different parts of our text, for example, here, we want to make certain words stand out. So for that, the simple thing is with Intuitive, you can select the word that you want to highlight and then change the color of that particular word. As you can see, this has been changed to maroon. Now, one of the tips that excuse me, one of the tips that one of our members from our Division Q team taught me while creating a video, we as people try instinctively to make the text as large and bold as possible. However, that is actually counterintuitive. The reason is that when we watch these videos, whether they're on our mobile phones or whether they're on our laptops, our eyes are focused towards the center of each video. If you can keep the text center aligned and small enough, then your eyes move less from left to right, and you can make a greater impact with your words. So you can see that there's a white border around each video. Then we have the image, and right at the center, we have the text, and the words we want to highlight are kept in a different color. Now, when we move from one slide or one image to the next image, we would like to have a transition, sort of something like what we get when we do make presentations in PowerPoint, for example. Again, here, what you can do is click on the image, and on your top menu bar, you can see the transition option. Here you have a multitude of transitions that you can choose from. The process is absolutely the same. You can double click a transition to see what it would look like. And once you've made your decision as to which transition you want, the simple thing is to click the plus button and it adds the transition. You'll know that your transition has been added when you can see the small blue box on top of your image, which signifies that this image has a particular transition. Now, this was the transition from slide or image to image. What about if you want to make each word come in a separate animation. When you double click on your title box, you can see over here that we've already covered how we can change the font type, the size, or the color. Along with that, there is a button called animation. You can then select any animation style, and if you hover your mouse over each style, you can see what that particular style would look like. If you want to apply as your suggestion box over here says, you just have to double click to apply that particular transition. So here I'll just quickly apply this over here, and you can see how the letters or the text has become animated. Now, one of the things that I feel is very important when we do a video, and it's sometimes a mistake that we make, is that having a video without any kind of background sound or any audio. When we are watching something that's moving, our ears are looking for something to listen to. And that is what the background music does for a video. It's very important to choose a particular kind of music that goes with a particular video. A fast-paced one if our transitions are faster, or a slower or more peaceful one if we're looking for something slower. Now, the advantage of using Filmora Editor for music is that once you have included an audio into your track, it becomes very easy to manipulate this audio track. So what I mean is, now we're looking at the audio track. If I double click the audio track, I get a lot of options over here. I can change the left and right size volume by moving this value up and down, and you can see that the volume is changing. We have options to keep the music as fading in, fading out. You can change the pitch of the music as well and remove background noise in weak, medium, or strong. If you want to crop or cut a particular audio or video, any part of this, what you need to do is select the track that you want to cut. In your smaller shorthand menu bar, you can see the scissors symbol, again something quite intuitive, and and click on the button. What happens is that the point at which your seeker bar is placed, at that point, if you can see that a cut has been made. So now what we can do is, if we want to just manipulate this small section, you can right click on this audio track and you get a lot of options here. For example, adjusting the audio, which I already showed you, if you want to mute that particular part of the audio as well. And other than images, you can also directly import Canvas slides over here, any kind of media as shown right towards the end of our video. You can see this was an animated slide that I created in Canva, like just the way that Toastmaster Rohit showed us and Toastmaster Harshit showed, that we can create animated pages in Canva. I downloaded them and added them into the media section, and then I included it into our video over here. So this was one type of video that can be created. I'll quickly open another type and show you a different kind as well. All right. I'll do a similar thing of showing you what the video looks like, and then I will show you how to create this video. This was a very short and snappy video, but it did gain a lot of interest because of the unique way in which the information was presented in the form of a crossword puzzle. So I'll show you how we can create this crossword puzzle in using Filmora Editor. So what you can do is, as I've already shown you, how to include the title track. So you move the seeker to the point where you want to insert the title, go to the title option, and you can decide which title you want to use. I used the plain and simple title over here, and you just click on the plus sign and it comes into the track. Once you do that, double click on it, you can type in the letters. So what I did was to type in the word president, but keeping a one letter space between each letter so that I could create the crossword pattern. Now, the next word which I put on top of it, which was the word education, I just placed it on top. As I told you before, that putting on top of each other is essentially like layering a text on a text. And you can see that the text boxes are entirely movable. So you can position them anywhere in the screen where you need it. So for the words president and the word education, the D was the common letter. So I aligned these two texts. In that simple manner, I then put in the title of membership and aligned it with the word letter E. Now, I did not want all the words to come up at the same time. So what I did was push the title track bar to slightly later on in the time, if you can see where the seeker is currently. Using that concept, I was able to create this crossword pattern. If I'm scrolling up, you can see that each word was on top of another word, different layers. So this one had multiple layers, multiple tracks. Moving on to the second part of this video, where we had the letters, the larger letter T, L, and I. So the way that we can get this is I just created a larger text size and the color to highlight that these were the three letters that we were looking to showcase. And to create that arrow, which again further showed a little bit more emphasis on from one letter to another. On your top menu bar, you can see there is the option of adding an element. So once you click on element, you can see that there are multiple kinds of elements that you can include. I gave search for the word arrow and I selected the arrow. There are multiple kinds of arrows. Um, for example, let's just go with this arrow for now. Right. We change the color of the arrow to something that is visible. Just give me a minute. All right. Along with each element, what you can do is also add motion to each element. So for example, here we used the kind of movement which is down and up, or the one which moves in diagonally. So this just helps create a little more emphasis than just having a stationary arrow in our video as well. So more or less, I think I've covered the media, the titles, transitions, effects, elements, and the seeker bar at the bottom with the multiple tracks. It's very important to remember that each track layers upon each other. So the topmost layer is the track that you get to see. So you start by building the background and then moving upward. And again, here we used a couple of different sound effects, like a typewriter sound effect and then a carriage bell return. So you can just add the audios and append them at the correct place you need by moving your seeker, the orange seeker as well. So that was all from my side. I see there are a couple of questions here. Let me have a look. Um, all right, these are questions. All right, Toastmaster Jonathan, can you insert a video of a person speaking into it? Yes, you can. I'll just show you, like the way to do that would be you download the video of the person that you're speaking, and I'll just share my screen once more and show you how you can do that. So in the, let me move the carriage to the end. Yeah. So in the media section, you can go to import media file. And for example, from your downloads, you would be able to you can just select whatever was the video that you wanted with the person speaking into it. Once you have inputted that, the video would come over here, and you can include that video to any part of your presentation. For example, this is just a sample video that we have this box peeping. This is what I have right now. And this could be a person speaking as well. If you want to change the position or resize the video, you are free to do so using the arrows. You can place it at the center. This could be the video of a person speaking as well. I hope that answers your question. I think I'm done with my section of showing how to do the video editing in Filmora Editor. And we'll take up the rest of the questions in the Q&A section. Over to you, Toastmaster Akshaj.
Am I audible and visible?
Yes, Toastmaster Akshaj, we can hear you.
Okay. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. First of all, a round of applause for all the members for such a good session and training campaign. So there were certain questions which came up. So I'll be starting with it. First of all, Toastmaster Tanvi asks, where is Canva? Means where can she find Canva? So Canva, I think, is basically you can find Canva on we go to Google and type canva.com, and there we can the website automatically comes. So a second question was by Toastmaster Chamini, that can we use the Toastmaster logo on any image even without the Toastmaster brand colors? I'd like Toastmaster Ruchira please answer it.
Right. I'm so sorry, Toastmaster Akshaj. Before we move into the Q&A, we have one more section by Toastmaster Shomnath, where he'll be covering the brand guidelines. So that would answer this question as well. All right, Toastmaster Shomnath, are you ready?
Yes, yes, I am.
All right. So over to you. Please take over, and then we'll go into the Q&A. Okay, I apologize.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Ruchira. So now my question is I'm going to cover here the section is that about a brand guidelines and then a newsletter. Now, my question to all my audience is, what is a brand? Why we need a brand? Anyone can answer my questions if anyone interested.
We can easily rely on that. It's trustworthy. It's an eye catcher, Toastmaster Shomnath.
Okay. Anyone else? It's a good one.
Yeah, it's recognizable, easily recognizable.
To promote the club.
Yes.
Shomnath Vishwaraj here. So,
hi, Vishwaraj.
To create something which will distinguish itself from the others.
Correct. Yes. So actually, all of you who answered my questions are correct. So basically, we need a brand to identifying a symbol, mark, logo, name, the sentence or word that companies, that organization use to distinguish their product from others. Now, Toastmasters International is a non-profit educational organization that teaches public speaking and a leadership skill through the worldwide network clubs. And definitely that club that organization definitely required a brand guideline. So that's why that we have a brand guideline. So in the Toastmasters, Toastmasters International followed their brand guideline. And what is the promise we have in that brand? Our brand promise that Toastmasters have is empowering individual through personal and professional development. So in that brand guideline, as of now, all of you have seen that how we can create a poster, how we can create a video in the social media coverages and all. But according to that, while doing all this thing, we need to follow some guidelines, because here, whatever we are doing as a Toastmasters, we are promoting a Toastmasters. So how we can do that? What is that? What are all things we can cover? I will share my screen and I will tell you what is the thing. First things which we need to do is that a brand need a logo.
as I told, that logo is somewhere it's required to promote some organization. And Toastmasters, this is the Toastmasters logo. Where you can find that Toastmasters logo? If you go and type the toastmasters.org.logos, you can find it out. So this is that you can go here in a toastmasters.org, and here if you give a logo, you press enter. You can get a different kind of logos. All of you able to see the screen?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Now come to that logo. What are all things we can do that? This is the brand logo, which we can use anywhere, whenever we are creating a poster, videos, our newsletter, anything. Now that logo should have, and that logo should be should be visible and a proper in a space. So this is that size clear space is mentioned here. That logo should have, we cannot overlap the logo and the name together. It should have a proper, in the logo should have a with a proper space. So that's why that size is here, that somewhere that it's mentioned. We cannot overwritten that logo, so that logo can, if we use a logo in somewhere in our in newsletter, in our events poster, should be visible properly. We cannot. Now I will come to the next, that what are all things we have. We have a full color logo, grayscale logo, and the white logo. Now if you come here, you can see that all the colors are visible here. You can download and you can use it. Now if I come to that my Canva, say I want to create a poster for an event. If I go there, as I already downloaded one logo here, I can go to that upload folder. So I can go to the photos, and what are all things I already uploaded. Sorry, myself. It's not working here. I'm sorry for that. So come to that logo one. Now after that logo, what we can use, that what word mark. That word mark, what is that? Toastmasters International. That also we can find it out in that Toastmasters website. If we go to there, we can. Here we can see the word mark are there. In the word mark also the colors are there, black and white, and the color one. We should not change that color, whatever we are using, what are all mentioned here. You can download it from that toastmasters.org.logos word mark. And word mark also, whenever we are using the word mark, we should keep in mind that it should have a proper space when you're using that word mark. Any of the sentence or anything should not be overlap with that word marks. Now let's come to that our next section, that logo. Logo we can use, along with the logo we can use few things, like logo along with www.toastmasters.org, or the Toastmasters logo along with since 1924. Why it's 1924? Because the first Toastmasters club started at in 1924 in Santa Ana, California. Or if we want to use a word marks, Also, we can use the word marks, and word marks also should be in that proper format. That Toastmasters International and then space and then since 1924. This also you can find it out in that toastmasters.org/logo. See, you can see that all that things available here. Now I will come to that next one, that what are all things we cannot do with the logo. What are all things are restricted in that logo. We cannot tamper anything. We cannot change that logo, what is given in that, what is available in the Toastmasters website. If you want, you can just download it, but don't change the color, don't change the background. There is a globe symbol is here. Don't change it like this. Usually we do it like that, but don't do that. Don't put it in the district 99 like this. It should be logo along with comes the Toastmasters International. Don't change, don't try to change it. Or you can don't change that, the blue colors which is mentioned here in that logo, don't make it in the different color. Or it is, if you can see here in the in my left hand side in your screen, that it is there, the Toastmasters International, it is coming in the border, but this, it is not allowed. You can change that, the way you put the logo, that the border is removed. Don't try to do that. It is not allowed in that Toastmasters International. Now I will come to that color. As already have seen that all our peer team members, they have shown you that how to create posters, how you can animate it, how you can create a videos. But all the things you have to do, there is a color restrictions. There are 4 colors that Toastmasters International always say that you have to use, because it's, as I told, that it's a brand and we have to follow the brand. We cannot, while creating poster newsletter, we cannot change we cannot choose a different colors. So colors, we can have a course. They are saying that maroon, true maroon, hexadecimal number is #772432. Loyal blue is a hexadecimal code. You can find it out 004165. Now, how you can find it out? This one, if you can open the Canva, I will show you where you can easily find it out. Say I'm creating a poster.
Toastmaster Shumnath, your PDF is still visible.
Oh, okay, sure. Now all you can see that Canva one. So now I can see any elements here. Or say I want to change that color of it. So how we can change that? We can select, click on that poster, come to that background color, click on here. Now here all the hexadecimal number, as I told, for the true maroon, it is 772432. This is the true maroon we are using for that. This is the another color. Another color is that royal blue. It is 004165. This is the royal blue, and we can use a cool gray, which is A9B, A9. So this is the cool yellow, cool gray, and we can use that. Another color is that yellow. which is Happy YOLO. The hash number is F2DF74. I will select here, from here. I will change that color to F2 TF7. Oh, this is that Happy YOLO. So these are the 4 colors which Toastmasters International says whenever is required we should use. Means while creating our poster or anything we should use. Now I will come to that next one, which is called that what is the font we can use as a in a Toastmasters International. Now another logo which we can use, that Pathways logo. If we want, we can use that Pathways logo also, and that also in available in our toastmasters.org/logo site. And there also, whenever if we're going to use a Pathways logo, should have a proper space there, should be visible very carefully. Keep all this in mind. Now, in the Pathways, we have 11 paths available, each path having their own badges. Now, any one of our club members, whenever has completed their paths, we can, when we are publishing that poster, we can use these logos to describe their paths, like dynamic leadership, motivational strategies, everything is there. Now, if we can go to that again, the same website, toastmasters.org/logos, in that you can, all the logos are available. Whenever anyone completed their path, you can download that and then use it in your posters or making the videos. Now I will come to the fonts. The font is very important while writing your content, while creating your posters. What is the font Toastmasters International says that we can use? That is a Gotham. But there is an alternate font is also available, which we can use. That font is called Montserrat. That Montserrat font we can also use in our while creating that poster. Another font that is available in the Toastmasters is called Source Sans Pro. These are the 2 fonts, Marriott Pro and Gotham. These are the 2 fonts what Toastmasters International says that we can use, but an alternative font also available there. If we're not able to found them, we can use these 2. While keeping, while using that fonts, keep in mind that we can use that black bold, but we cannot make our anything whenever we are creating a heading or any name, we cannot change that logo, or we cannot change that to italic. We can use the bold, we can use the black, we can use the light. These are all available. So these are all we can do, but we cannot do that anything regular. Also, we can make anything that heading or names in that content, but don't make it as anything as an italic. Now, in the images, I will come to the images. Whenever we are creating a poster, newsletter, any videos, we are using the images. So images, where we can found that images at the beginning of if you remember that whenever our Toastmasters is sharing that how we can create a Canva poster, he already used that. This is the path that Toastmasters.photoshelter.com and the galleries. You can find that photos there. You can use whatever there is in the gallery. There are a lot of photos are available. The photos are standard photos are available that we can use. But keep in mind while using that photos that we cannot use the cartoon, illustration, clippers while creating this, while creating our club newsletter, our club district division and district newsletter posters, anything. So these are the photo galleries which we can use. And why it is so? Because it is saying that when using that photography style should reflect the Toastmasters environment where people look engaged, empowered, and supported, as portrait in meetings, presentations, speeches, networking venues. So this way, these are the posters Toastmasters says, International says we should follow. Now I'll quickly come to that newsletter. Now how we can create a newsletter. Let me know if you are able to see my my screen, new sample newsletter which I'm sharing it here. Is it visible, the newsletter, all of you?
Yes, it's visible. Yeah.
Okay, so in that newsletter, now in that newsletter, if you can see, we can also have to follow the guidelines. See that Toastmasters logo, how it is used. And see the space is given. It should not be quest, and the newsletter logo should not be it is not overlapped. So this is the keep in your mind that whenever we are using that logos. Now I will come to that in that newsletter, while creating a newsletter, what are all things we should cover? First, that or I can say the guidelines of that newsletters. First of all, that a content layout. First of all, the newsletter name. Here the newsletter name is visible. Now the newsletter is for what? Is that it's a club newsletter, it's a district newsletter, or it's a division newsletter. So here it is mentioned clearly that quarterly newsletter for division Q. If it is a club newsletter, we can mention that it's a club name, club number, we can mention. Now I will come to that content layout. Now the newsletter, what it should contain, what are all things are we covered? We can wrote it here in that newsletter, that in this newsletter, what are all things we are going to cover. And again, as I said, that while writing the content, we should keep in mind that font, these are the 2 fonts are available in the Toastmaster, we should use that. And if you can see that in this newsletter, why I took this newsletter, because this newsletter is followed all the brand colors and that brand, all the colors and all the font, what are all available. Now I will come to that design aesthetic, that if you can see it here, as I told, the photographs it's used, it should be very visible. Now that another content should be there in that good usage of space. Now whenever you are using that any photography, anything, it should be properly visible and should have a proper space. As I told, the content, now if I come to that another part of that newsletter, it is called a content of that another most important part. Sorry, I forgot that TLI logo and the tagline. As I showed you at the beginning, that tagline and that TLI logo both are used. So whenever we are creating a newsletter, we should keep in mind that our TLI logo and that tagline should be present. Another thing, when you publish the newsletter, please mention what is the upcoming events. Now, upcoming events, you can mention at the end of that newsletter that the next month or these are the upcoming events our club is going to be conducted. So that's all from my end. I'm not going to bore you with the saying all this thing. I'm stop sharing my video and hand it over to Akshat for question and answering. Thank you. Akshat, is over to you.
Am I audible and visible?
Yes, Toastmaster Akshat.
Hello. Am I audible?
Your voice is cracking.
Good evening, fellow Toastmaster
Hello?
session. Hello. Am I audible?
Your voice is breaking, Akshat.
I think it's fine now. Akshat, can you say something?
1 minute. Hello. Am I visible and audible?
Yes, this is better. Thank you.
Okay. So I am starting up with the question and answer round.
So, which was asked by Toastmaster Abhishek Devraj, which hashtags work in general for Toastmasters Club? I would like Toastmaster Shruti to please answer this question. I think Toastmaster Shruti is not there. Toastmaster Ruchira, please answer this question.
Yes, so some of the hashtags that we use are Toastmaster, where leaders are made, along with our division and district as well. So this helps get a lot of attention on our social media pages.
Okay, so the next question was by Toastmaster Suchi, that how do you know that your posts are not too much for people to start ignoring it? So she wanted to know how to find a sweet spot that. So I'd like Toastmaster Ruchira to please again answer this question.
Sure. This was something that we initially struggled with because as soon as the pandemic started and people started having more online events, we could see that our social media groups, particularly on WhatsApp, were getting very flooded. So one of the things that we did, or I did as a PR manager, is try to ask people of different clubs, the VP PRs, to post at different times. So we had a time slot for or particular days when different clubs be asked to post. This was one thing that we followed. Another thing is that when we're doing a PR, that helps us determine exactly how much would be too much. So either you could do one per day or you could do alternate days. It totally depends on the kind of event that.
Okay, so the next question was, can the video from Filmora be downloaded?
Yes, it absolutely can. You just need to click on the export button, which is there at the top in the menu bar.
Okay, there was one more question, that is Filmora same as Wondershare Filmora?
Yes, it's one and the same.
Okay, and the last question, when should the poster of a session get published in social media? By
All right.
Rituparna.
Okay, Toastmaster Rituparna has mentioned at the start. This is also subjective to what is the kind of size of the event that you're posting. If it's a very large event, 10 days is a good idea so that people can clear up their schedules to attend the session. If it's a smaller event, then anywhere between 5 to 7 days should be good enough.
Okay, so if there is any more question, you can post it on the chat box. Or we are also available offline for you all, and we'll be posting this recording on the YouTube, and we'll also be monitoring the comments and the questions which comes in the comments, so we can help more and more people. I think there are no more questions. So now at the end, for conclusion, I'll like to hand it over to Toastmaster Harshit.
So thank you so much, Toastmaster Akshad. So thank you everyone for listening to us, and thanks for all your precious time giving to us and listening to us. If you all have any further doubts or any further questions, we are always there to reach out to you, or you should always reach out to us anytime. We are always there. Your certificates will be mailed to your respected mail ID. And thank you all for listening to us, and over to you, Toastmaster Ruchira.
Thank you, everyone. And a big thank you to our audience today for being such a wonderful audience, for participating, as well as listening to everything that we had to share. Yes, Toastmaster Nadina, I can see you've raised your hand. Would you like to? You can feel free. The session has officially ended. All right. Thank you to the PR team, the Division Q PR team, for working hard behind the scenes and working so hard to present and create each and every part that was presented today. I hope you all enjoyed the session as a whole, and the recording will be available on YouTube, so you can go back and, as mentioned, we're always there to answer any questions. Thank you, and good evening, good morning, and we're done for today. All right, I'll be ending the meeting right now. Okay. Thank you, everyone.